continue our check-in with provincial police commissioners to understand their strategic plans for crime prevention and management. And today we are in conversation with Free State Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Baile Motswenyane. Good morning and welcome to the program. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us your time. Let's start with the fact that you are in your second term as the first female provincial commissioner there. You have under your belt 35 years of experience. You were actually the first woman in the country to become an area commander for the SAPS as well. And I thought it would be appropriate, Lieutenant General, to start off with your Women's Month message to other female officers and those aspiring to be in police leadership.
Good morning, Imani and the viewers. Yes, indeed, this year we are celebrating Women's Month, and we celebrate it under the theme we're saying that celebrate 30 years of democracy towards women's development. I want to say to the women out there in policing to say, let's celebrate. And I did indicate to them that as we celebrate, let's make sure that we go out there in big numbers, making sure that we are going to secure our women and children. As you know, that gender-based violence and femicide is quite a challenge in the Free State.
Yeah, and we'll actually come to those specifics in just a moment because you have a number of moving targets, right? Carjacking up 40%, kidnappings up 29%. You have rape cases up almost 7%, murder up 4%. What concerns you the most about the profile of crimes you are dealing with in your province?
Imani, I will talk to our murders, rapes, kidnapping and extortion. And as you just indicated that our murders is quite a concern. As the police, we are having dedicated teams where they intervene, where we are having serious challenges. Like currently now, we are having serious problems around the borderline, where you'll find that Basotho citizens from Lesotho, they will come and fight each other around here. Others is as a result of stock thieves happening along the border. But I want to say that with this team, many arrests have been made. We are having anti-gang also operating from that side, as well as Operation Valamukoti is also conducting operations that side. When you talk about the rapes, Imani, we are having serious problems about the rapes, especially for this week only. I had so many rapes where minors were involved. And maybe in a case where 6 minors, age ranging from 6 years to 9 years, they were raped by a 60-year-old suspect. The 60-year-old suspect is well known to the family. The family, they were leaving their kids under his care. But I want to say that the suspect has been arrested. We are even having 2 cases where a 14-year-old girl and a 15-year-old, both of them, they are pregnant. And those suspects also, they have been arrested, Imani. But I want to urge our parents to say that, you know what? Let's take care of our kids. Our parents gave us good life. They took responsibility about our well-being and safety. And as parents, let's do the same. But I want to say to you, Imani, even this morning, we are having a case where a suspect will be appearing. It's a serial rapist. He raped from 2011 and he was linked now to 14 cases of rape. What I want to say, he has been raping and he was never identified. But in one case, when he was arrested, we submitted the DNA. And when the DNA report came back, he was linked to 14 cases. And even if it took long, but I want to say that the arm of the law is very long. You can run, but you cannot hide forever.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so heartbreaking. If I can, Lieutenant General, just come in there for a second because I want to dwell on the issue of rape and sexual assaults, especially involving children. When you share with us that over the last couple of days you've had, more cases, and these are babies essentially, 6 to 9 years old, so vulnerable. And again, this is not a first-time, once-off problem that you're experiencing. It is something that really, is the story of the Free State when it comes to rape. So what do you do? I mean, are you working with the other departments like social development and community safety, the outreach campaigns? Just talk to us then how your plan changes when you have a problem as big and as deep as this one that goes right to the heart of families in your province.
Imani, as I said, I'm very much concerned as a provincial commissioner, as a mother, and as well as the member of the same community. As the police, what we did together with Advocate Sumaru, who's the DPP for the province, we established a gender-based forum where all these cases of rapes, especially where minors are involved, there is a committee and dedicated prosecutors as well from our side, dedicated FCS members who are dealing with those cases. And I want to say that even with this forum, some of the cases, they were even finalized within 6 months, because this forum, with all the evidence they can put on the table, some of the cases were even prosecuted and finalized without DNA reports coming from forensic. But I want to say that we are serious on a continuous basis. We are meeting as this forum to make sure that all these cases reported, we are going to do justice.
I want to go back to your operations. How do you prioritize the work that certain stations will have to undertake? Like, what do those briefings look like, and where does crime intelligence fit in? When you have, as I said at the outset, and I think I just outlined maybe 4 or 5 of the big categories that you're dealing with in terms of crime in your province, what do those strategic meetings look like, Lieutenant General, where you decide, okay, you know, we've seen a spate in these particular crimes. This is who we need to bring in. This is how we need to get involved. This is how we need to make sure that our whistleblowing network in the community is there, because obviously when these things are happening, there are people who are witnessing this happen.
Imani, what we are doing every week, we are having our own crime meetings. It starts with the stations on Mondays, Tuesdays is the district, then Wednesday is provincial office, where all the operational deputies and provincial heads, they are sitting, your crime intelligence, your crime detection, your crime registrar, your district commissioners, because they are in charge of the districts, will be sitting, looking at the crime pattern and crime threat analysis, where we are also looking at our operations. What type of operations are we going to conduct, and which areas are we going to focus on? Because we identify hotspots, what are the problematic crimes in those hotspots, and we plan accordingly, Imani. But I want to say to you that even as Free State, Operation Petisa Molao was launched, where we are ensuring the implementation of the integrated crime and violence prevention strategy. But I want to say that, Imani, we can even see right now that we can see the results of all those interventions. And despite that also, we are also having intervention teams where we'll be focusing at those problematic areas, and those interventions will go and address those specific crimes in that. And whilst we are even talking about that, Iman, we even spoke about the kidnappings. In the Free State, we experienced problems of kidnapping and extortion. There was a dedicated team established, and I want to say to you, thus far, 52 arrests have been made, because what they are doing, Imani, they are targeting pensioners or the rough beneficiaries. You will be kidnapped, and then they will demand you transfer money into their account. That's why the highest amount which was transferred is 800,000. But I want to say that we are dealing with that syndicate. 52 have been arrested, and will continue to make sure that that hard-earned money is going to be secured, and the beneficiaries will enjoy it at the end of the day.
Part of the challenge you have is building that connection and that trust with the communities. And I'd love for you to use the platform that you have this morning to talk directly to communities who are affected by these various crime categories in terms of the plan that you have to make their lives better and safer.
What I want to say to our communities is that as police, we are here. Let's join hands to fight this monster. Even yesterday, I was in the CBD, where we were even engaging the communities in terms of the robberies happening around the Parkwood CBD. But the communities, we cannot do it without you. When you are a victim of crime, report that crime, and as soon as possible. Because I usually say that for us to make a breakthrough, it's better that you report it immediately, and we investigate when the scene is still fresh, and we get the necessary evidence from the scene, so that we can ensure a conviction at the end of the day. And to the parents, to say that let's take care of our kids. Youngsters being raped. When you look in our streets at night, 11-year-old girls, 12 years, 13 years, they are roaming the streets. Parents, help us to make sure that their kids are at home at night, not in the streets.
And your message to the criminals, those who are running, you know, this sort of parallel dark network just under your noses, what do you say to them? What is changing in the Free State that is going to bring what they're doing to a swift end?
Criminals in the Free State, you cannot hide. we are right behind you. As you even know, with our illicit mining money, we had our problem. We used to deal with the Zamazamas, but at the end of the day, we registered the project. Project, we register it quietly so. Those kingpins, they got shock of their life when we arrested them. And 26 vehicles were confiscated, 6 houses were confiscated, 11 of them were arrested, and those assets have been forfeited to the states right now. So even if we are quiet, don't think we are not doing anything. Some of our operations, they are covered, and we're going to deal with you, and you will go where you belong.
Thank you very much for talking to us this morning. That is the Free State Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General Baile Motswenyane. Appreciate your time this morning.